Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to build a compact resin farm that I designed. I'm not a YouTuber or anything, but I decided to share the design I came up with because I was having issues getting a lot of the other farms I was finding on YouTube to work, and this design's been working pretty well for me. It's going to look slightly different than the thumbnail because as I've been working on this, they updated Minecraft and they made it so that the creaking need a little bit more headroom to spawn. I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, this design works over that in the thumbnail. Here's all the materials that we'll be needing. And then the dimensions for it are going to be 6 by 5 by 6. And then just for reference, this is the skeletonized version of that, pretty much just all the things that you actually need. All the other blocks are just decoration, and then some of the issues I was having with the other farms on YouTube is both the resin clumps and the creaking themselves were phasing through blocks. So I added this extra layer of blocks all the way around to both decorate, but also to make sure things weren't phasing through blocks quite as easy. But anyways, this is the bare minimalist design if you want to go ahead and build that. And then over here, we have a smelter design that takes the resin clumps and then fuel of your choice, and then smelts it into bricks, and then auto crafts it into blocks. And then that design is just 2 by 3 by 5. There's everything you'll need to make that. One thing for reference though, if you are looking for a huge max rates industrial farm, this is not the farm for you. This is just a compact farm for just an everyday player. But if you're looking for something crazy, this isn't the farm for you. I've heard a lot of different things about how high up you should be building things and whatnot. I've heard 30, I've heard 50. I just decided to do 40, and it works just fine for me. Additionally, this is a different model that I built that increases the smelting rate, but I'm just going to show you guys the simpler one today. Throw one down here, and here, here, and in this tutorial, I'm just going to assume you have some basic knowledge of Minecraft, and I'm not going to explain some of the more fundamental basic mechanics of the game. And then basically just switch these to being towards the chest like that. That way the whole cross pattern is pointing into the chest. Then at this point you want to take your logs and creaking hearts and you build it. Oh my gosh. I don't know if anyone else gets that glitch where sometimes blocks place and sometimes when you go to place a block on them, they disappear. I've been getting that one a lot. I don't know if that's new or old or just me, but yeah. But anyway, then add one on top. So basically you should have a pattern of, and these are just temporary down here, but you should have a pattern of logs, creaking hearts, logs. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your pistons and you're going to put one sticky piston above your chest like this. And then you're going to take your chiseled redstone blocks, put that here, and then just everywhere else is going to be normal pistons. So what we're going to do is go like this, and then chiseled redstone, and like that. And once again, just using that as a temporary block. And yep. And just like that, the inside of here should pretty much be complete. Go around and remove the temporary pistons, and it should be looking like this. You're going to go ahead and take your orange carpet, and you're going to put it right here next to your sticky piston. Then you're going to take your trident and throw it right on top. Encase the outside of the build with this. Once again, this is for decoration and also to prevent items and the creaking from phasing through these diagonal blocks, which is the issues I had with some of the other farms on YouTube. So I just put those there just in case. Put those on the outside, and then I take resin slabs down here just once again to prevent anything from slipping through the cracks, because once this farm activates there's going to be creaking and resin clumps literally flying everywhere. So the more you can secure all that, the better. Alright, with all that done, now we can go up to the top And basically what's going to happen is we're going to pop out these blocks here, place in a piston, and then a temporary block, and then an observer, and then we're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around. Like that, and like that. So if you've ever made a trident killer before, this should look a semi-similar pattern. It's the same governing principle. But basically go ahead and remove your temporary blocks like that. Then go ahead and take your stairs, put it right here, and then you're going to take some redstone dust right here, and then daylight sensor, why it's not placing, right above that. And then if obviously the daylight sensor senses daylight and turns things on and off, but if you want the farm currently on and off, it pretty much just works the same as a switch. So you can pretty much just do that. But either way, I don't want to hear the listen to all the pistons right now, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that off. And then next step, you're going to take your stairs, and you're going to go ahead and put them along like this, all along the outside, and making sure they all connect to each other nicely. Just like that. Then we're going to take a glass block and build in with temporary blocks like that, and then a slab here, here, and here, and here, which if you saw the design in the thumbnail, it just raises the roof by a little bit so that they spawn. Once again, I don't know why it was working without that the other day, but such is life. Then we're going to take our ladders and buttons, and we're going to go ahead over here, and technically they do work on the piston, but I don't know, I usually just put them on this side. And then the button's going to go right on top here. And that completes the build itself. Going to take some hoppers, and we're going to run them into the bottom of the chest like that. Then we're going to take some furnaces, and we're going to put them here. I hate that glitch. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put them here. Oh my goodness gracious. There we go. All right, then we're going to put a few more hoppers here on the back, and then a few more on the bottom, and then additionally we're going to put that one normal, and then this one feeding into that hopper. And then let's grab some chests and then place them here and here. And then we're going to grab our auto crafter, and we're going to head and we're going to place it right here. And then before you forget, go ahead and click out the outside one, so there's just 4 left. And then go ahead and place your double chest right there. And we're going to do a goofy little circuit like this, where we're going to go like this, and we're going to run the comparator out of here, and then we need to go down like this so that we're observing up, and then we're observing over. And basically what this is going to do is every time a piece of or resin brick comes through this hopper, it's going to activate this, and which activates the whole ring of observers, which then powers the crafter, crafting the block if there's one available. And then also when this turns off, it gets a secondary one. Just aesthetically, you can go ahead and you can add your item frames. And I like doing them beneath the chest. That way you have access to the chest. And just like that, we should have the farm complete itself. We should have the smelter and the crafter complete, and you should be all good to go. There's a slight delay between when resin will start being farmable and when the daylight sensor will trigger things. So it's more efficient to just have it on a switch. But I don't know. I like the idea of it just being on a daylight sensor. And once again, this farm isn't completely rate focused as much as it's just compact design. Once it turns night, creaking will spawn in here. The farm will turn on. It will damage the creaking with the trident, and that'll produce resin. Those same push pistons that are pushing the trident will also break the resin, drop them into the hoppers, which then lead into this chest. A couple tips for rates. If your world you constantly switch to like peaceful and then back to mobs and peaceful and back and forth, it's not really worth name tagging them because they're going to despawn anyways. But if you keep mobs on pretty consistently, then what you're going to want to do is delete these two blocks, and then as they spawn in here, make sure it stays off. As they start spawning in here, name tag them. That way they don't despawn. Now that we have 4 name tag creaking in there, and then our fuel in here, our furnaces are going off, so is our crafter and our blocks. And it's about, it varies on if you use the daylight sensor or a switch or how many you get to spawn in there, if they're name tagged or not. But I've gotten anywhere from 6 to, I got 10 one time, stacks of resin clumps per night. And then with this system of turning it into blocks, on the average night you'll end up with about a stack and a half. I hope the farm serves you guys well, and if you have any issues with it, do me a favor and rewatch the tutorial and make sure you didn't miss any steps. And if you're still having issues, try to describe what's going on as well as you can to me in the comments, and I'll do what I can to help you. Until next time, stay frosty.